Holy moly. I actually made it live without any technical difficulties, I think. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Been a few weeks. Sorry about that. Say goodnight to the chickens. Can't believe it. That's actually, I did just get back from putting them up for the night. But they all decided to go to bed early, so they're all in bed. I don't have to worry about them. What's up there, Michael? Saw Thomas Miller said he'd be back in about an hour. He's the one who sent me. Look at that. Not easy to find, not easy to get. And he sent me this, plus some factory ammo, plus some Hornady brass. So I'm all set. And I got dies. Decided to go with the Redding Master Hunter dies for the 6.5 PRC. So I'm just waiting on Headspace gauges. And kind of looking forward to that. Kind of excited about that one. What's up, everybody? Everything's sounding okay. We looking okay. Ethan liked the 300 Win Mag video. Appreciate that. I was planning to do another temperature sensitivity video this week, but like my timing got messed up and I didn't have time to do that. And I was like, man, I just want to shoot some small groups. And I figured that would do it. Maybe not groups quite as small as we were hoping for, but still pretty good. D-Dub likes his Master Hunter dies. Yeah, I haven't. Well, it really came down to I wanted to try the Redding competition cedar die. Isn't that what they call them? What do they call them? Yeah, the competition cedar. It's yeah, one of these guys. So looking forward. If I can get my stupid camera to focus. The bit rate's so bad you guys probably couldn't see it even if it was in focus, but whatever. There it is. There's the Redding die. Looking forward to trying that guy out. .30 Huckleberry's got the Nozzle brand brass as well. Trying to remember, it's been a few weeks since I was looking into it. Like I've had my eye out for 6.5 PRC brass for a year. And I don't think I've ever seen it in stock ever anywhere. So, yeah. Paul thinks 6.5 PRC will be more practical than 300 Win Mag. Yeah, like I've reached a limitation. Like I talked about it in that this morning's video. I guess I can't really call it yesterday's video, but a lot of it comes down to my bench. Like my bench is janky and the way I'm sitting. And it kind of ties back into the bipod video I did and stuff. Like I need to just change the whole way I shoot 300 Win Mag to get any better, I think. Just dealing with the recoil and trying to tighten up the groups. But yes, I'm kind of looking forward, hoping the 6.5 PRC be a little bit easier to shoot. And like you say, a little bit more practical as well. Plus, with all of my 6.5 Creedmoor and 6.5 Grendel stuff, I've got bullets coming out of my butt to try in a 6.5 PRC. So I think it'll be fun. Have I tried the Hornady Sub X and 300 Black? Here's the thing. They were available a couple months ago, and I ordered some. And that was part of, like, I've got a new gel blocks and stuff. We were going to gel test them. I didn't order them. I went back to the site and they were still in my cart for some. I guess it was I was ordering a couple things that I never actually ordered those, and now they're out of stock everywhere. So say hello to our little ladybug friend here. But yeah, so I don't have them. But next time they're available, I'll be sure to get some. Been wanting to try it for a while. They were in stock for a long time, just about anywhere you looked. So hopefully, the next time some stock goes out, I'll have an opportunity to grab some. I have a black square blocking the top left of the screen. Yeah, that's so I can switch back and forth in case we need to do stuff on the computer. I've got That's my second monitor on my computer. There's nothing important back there. See if I can, let's see, second. Hey, there it is. See, it's boring back there. Am I going to shoot those 168 grain gold dots in 300 Win Mag before I rebarrel? Maybe, probably not. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, you know, they'll be perfect. I'm trying to, have we shot any of the 160 gold dots in that gun? Or in the other 300 Win Mag? I can't remember specifically shooting them. But, I know they'll be awesome. I know their gel performance would be awesome. So I don't know. Maybe. Depends how long these stupid Headspace gauges take to come in. Said I've been waiting forever. I ordered from Pacific Tool and Gauge. And yeah, it's been a month or 6 weeks or so. So I don't know how far backed up they are. It's been okay because I've kind of had other crap going on, and yeah, had other components I needed to get for the project, so I wasn't really freaking out about it. But now that I've got everything else and kind of getting the itch. What's the first bullet for 6.5 PRC? Oh, I've got some more of the A-tips. What are they, 135? What's the 6.5 A-tip? Actually, there's a light one and a heavy one, right? I've got some of the lighter A-tips. Maybe those. Maybe go with the old favorite, just the plain old 140 grain Hornady that's always shot so well in Creedmoor. Lots of options. So somebody asked about turkey scout. Yeah, Jacob asked about turkey scouting, and I haven't. I gotta kind of decide because, like the last couple weeks, I've been busy. I'm getting ready. I'm getting pigs this year. And I've got that set up, finally done. Like my electric fence is up. I got about 3/4 of an acre cleared out. I've been clearing land like you wouldn't believe, man. And actually, back to the first live stream I missed, I had been running a frickin' chainsaw and a weed eater all day long. And I completely forgot about the stream, man. I just was like dragging my ass into the house and getting in the shower. And then later on, I'm like, oh crap, man, I completely forgot my live stream. And then, 1 week becomes 4 weeks. But yeah, I'm set up for pigs and I'm ready to go there. I've got 26 new chickens right now downstairs living in the closet. So there'll be a couple videos on the second channel here this week. I hope this week. I need to rent a wood chipper. That's kind of where I'm at. I've cut down so many trees. I need to rent a wood chipper and clear those up, but that can come afterwards. I want to hurry up and get the pigs on the ground. So just want to get all the animals and kind of get in that flow so I can focus on other stuff. Plus, at that point, then I'll be ready for the coming nuclear winter or whatever in the hell's going on in the world. Yeah, Davis, the 135 is the lighter ones. Yeah, I've got some of those. I don't know. The Savage 110, it's a factory pull-off barrel that I've got that I'm putting it on. I'm trying to remember what twist that is. I don't know if it'll stabilize the really heavy stuff like the 153s and like all those new 6.5 bullets that are heavier than they used to be. Start with the ELDX. Yeah, we've got some of those. What is it? The 143? 147. I haven't shot Creedmoor much. I'm trying to remember what all the freaking bullets are. It's like, but yeah, 140, 143, 147. All of those, I've got a nice inventory of those. I've got that big jug of Reloader 26 that we just got a while back and just cracked open a little while ago. I think that'll be a really good powder for that. Got plenty of other powders, so really set up. Been clearing land like a nuclear bomb. Yeah. It kind of looks like it, and it needed it, man. My land's just so overgrown like crazy. Hey, Kyle, thanks for that. Appreciate that. He looked it up, 1 in 8 twist. All right, then it should be good to go, right? That's fine with the 147s.
Ethan Rowell super chatted $19.99. Have you considered trying hammer copper solid bullets?
I have. At one point, we made like a whole list. And actually, speaking of that, some stuff that Jacob had sent me. I've got some cavity back bullets. These are pretty cool. I've never shot any, but these are pretty freaking crazy. Look at that big old cavity. So I've got a couple flavors of these, and I want to get some hammer bullets. So I've been talking about it for years, but it's finally time to maybe get down to it and try a few copper solids. Maybe, yeah, we'll see how it goes. What game do I plan to hunt with the 6.5 PRC that I couldn't use the 6.5 Creedmoor with? Just asking. Nothing. Like, to be honest, that big chassis rifle, long barreled, it's not really a hunting rifle for me. And I'm not seeing this as a hunting cartridge. It'd be an awesome one. Like, it'd be awesome. But kind of like you're saying, what can you hunt with it that you can't hunt with a Creedmoor? Not much of anything. And I've got a much lighter Creedmoor rifle that I can carry. You know? So, yeah, I'm with you there. Yep, Tex Patriot says his 6.5 Creedmoor turns the lights out on a nice whitetail, plenty for deer. Yep, I've killed, I killed 2 with the Creedmoor. So it's an awesome cartridge. It's just an awesome cartridge. NK, cannot believe this. After a tough day, come home to a guy flaunting Reloader 26, 6.5 PRC brass, and good bullets. How'd I get all that? I bought the Reloader 26. Hang on one second. The Reloader 26 I found. I don't even remember where I bought it from. But it was during one of our live streams. Somebody said, hey, Reloader 26 is in stock. And I went and bought it. That was about a year ago. The brass was sent to me by a viewer who had it in his inventory. And the bullets I bought 2 or 3 years ago. So it really just comes down to buy everything several years before you need it. Just gotta build a little bit of a stockpile, you know? And not like a deep stockpile, just at least for me, the way I like to shoot and the way I like to load and stuff. I like variety, you know? So I want a variety stockpile. I want a pound of everything. But something like Reloader 26, where I know I've got multiple applications where it's a really good choice, that's when I'll go ahead and invest in an 8-pounder or something like that. And I'm sure I won't forget it. Or I'm sure I won't regret it. Feed that wood chipper like you only have so much time to get rid of the bodies. That's the way it'll be, because it'll be a rental. And I think it's like, I was looking. Yeah, it'll either be a 4-hour or an 8-hour rental. So hopefully I'll be able to keep it busy for those hours. '26 was bought live on air. We're not allowed to talk about any of that here on YouTube, I don't think. I think those were that was in the Twitch days when we could actually talk about things. It's kind of like that's another thing I've been thinking about over the last few weeks of not doing these. Like the not the last one I did, but the one before that, I ended up getting way too close to the YouTube rules accidentally. And I'm like, man, I'm going to end up getting my freaking channel deleted, banned over this goofy crap. You know, like, if I get banned, I want to get banned from my normal videos. If I could get banned for slipping up on a live stream, that's going to piss me off. Do I still stream on Twitch? I haven't done it in... Yeah, no, haven't done any streams. I was planning to do some casual streams over there, play some video games every once in a while, just to kind of keep the account alive and just keep that alive, but haven't. Just buy whatever you can find in stock, and then you'll have an excuse to buy different guns. That's a very good point. Have I considered trying the ultra precision scales like the FX120i or the Creedmoor Sport scales? I have, yes. I'm just not ready to make that investment. I think, you know, the tone of my YouTube channel is hopefully somebody that can help people get started and all of that. And I don't want to give the impression that you need a $500 scale to get started. I kind of like, it holds me back sometimes, right? Like sometimes I could certainly use a scale and I would load better ammo with a better scale, but I don't think it really makes any difference. The size of groups I'm shooting, you know, like I don't think a scale is holding back my group sizes. So I just haven't worried about it. I like doing it on cheap stuff. And, yeah, just kind of putting that out in the world. I don't want to scare anybody away thinking that they can't afford the standard setup. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I contradict that in a million ways where I, you know, could have bought much cheaper 6.5 PRC dies or a million other things where I don't follow that, but whatever. It's my go-to excuse for the reason why I don't have an expensive scale. Anyone know what a good powder for 223 in SBRs? Yeah, I made a video exactly on that topic and walk through exactly how to choose a powder and which one to go. It really comes down to I would choose just normal 223 powders are probably going to be just fine for you, but if you really want to optimize it, maybe just go on the faster side. Something like I don't know, Vitavori N133 or the H322, Reloader 7, something like that maybe. Do the 8 hour. By the time you pick up, work for 2 hours, return it, the 4 hours is up. Normally the rent 75 is mud. Yep, that's about what it is. Tex Patriot says rushing with a wood chipper equals a bad idea. I think it's 4 hours of runtime on the machine. I need to check that because if it's actual 4 hours, then yeah, that's impossible. But if it's 4 machine hours in one day or something, or 24 hours of possession, then that might be okay. Have I ever tried Ramshot Magnum for the 300? I haven't. I want to. I really, really want to because it's a very popular powder in the load data. It's like no matter what I'm shooting, if I'm shooting a Magnum and I go look for load data, there's freaking Ramshot Magnum in there every single time. So just for its universal appeal, I'd like to have some and try it, but I never have. Whatever happened to the Twitch streams? Just kind of it got to a point where Twitch was always supposed to be an extra messing around sort of thing, and it became, I felt like Twitch was affecting the quality of my YouTube stuff. And I just decided to step back and see what, you know, just kind of step back. And I still feel okay about that. So we're over here on YouTube now, and yeah, it is what it is. Twitch was fun there for a couple years. And it's an awesome backup, right? If I get banned tomorrow, Twitch will be the best place to rally around and figure out what happened there, or Patreon, of course. What's up, Austria? Well, somebody else, I think they were saying they were in Indonesia. Got an very international audience tonight. Go to Twitch. Actually, speaking of Twitch, so whenever I do the 6.5 PRC, I want to make a video on the barrel install and what goes, the barrel swap. And I can't put that on YouTube. Or even if I could try and sneak it onto YouTube, I don't even want to try. Well, it kind of goes back. If I get banned, I want to get banned for reloading. I don't want to get banned for doing barrel swaps. You know what I'm saying? So that video of reconfiguring the gun will go on Twitch. You can actually upload videos on Twitch as well. So it'll go there, and probably like Rumble. I guess Rumble seems to be getting traction. It's been around long enough to where it looks like maybe it's going to survive, but like Metroid speedruns, yeah, I haven't even played through Dread in months. So yeah, maybe sometime this week I'll flip on Twitch and do a Metroid Dread playthrough just for the heck of it. Awesome game. Falling behind on chat. If you're new here, just little warning there that I am very bad about keeping up and reading all of the chat.
Thorzax super chatted $20. Would chip a rental money.
Hey, thanks, Thorzax. I appreciate that. Up there, bolt action reloading. What are we talking about? Not much. Just catching up after a couple weeks away. Talking a little bit of 6.5 PRC. I've got all my stuff, and I'm just waiting on my Headspace gauges. Maybe I've been thinking maybe that's where I screwed up, because my original plan was just to buy a Go gauge, and then I've seen where people will put a layer of masking tape or something on the back of the Go gauge and kind of use that as a no-go, and just do it with a Go gauge. That's everything you need. But I thought, well, this is the first time I'm through this process. I'll just order the set. So I'm getting a frickin' field gauge, for crying out loud. So that's probably why it got back ordered so long. It's like the order comes in, they're like, "Hey, some idiot ordered a field gauge." Yeah, sorry. I probably got put to the back of the order queue. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, I'm bad about keeping up with chat. So I can either, yeah. So I'm not ignoring you if you've got a question and you're answering it and you're hammering it over and over. I promise I'm not ignoring you on purpose. Sometimes I just need to jump down and catch up.
Eugene Tackleberry super chatted $5. Money for the strip club.
Thanks, Eugene. Appreciate that. Sent off an old mail server hard drive that died with a bunch of birdshot. I was thinking, I kind of got a, actually, they're right here. Here's my, I was kind of going through some data cleanup myself recently, and I've got some where I need to get rid of them, man. Yep, I definitely need to get rid of them. What's in the black box in the corner? Oh, that's just my computer screen. See my mouse moving? Here, I'll switch it, make it big. Yeah, there we are. Oh, Walter says always go with the set. Really? I thought I might be seen as a noob. It's like, oh God, who needs anything more than a Go gauge? What is this guy doing? That's what I figured I was that guy, but that's kind of the way I like. If I get into that process and it's just not going the way I want a full set of gauges to just always be able to fully test where I'm at and know what's going on. So the dirty way to do it is to headspace on your brass. Yeah, I forget where I was. I was reading a forum thread or something somewhere. I think it was from back when the cartridge first came out and somebody was looking for gauges and they're like, can somebody just send me a fired piece of brass? Like, that'll be good enough. Like, yeah, I'm not ready for those sort of advanced moves. I ordered the gauges from Pacific.
Super chatted $4.99. Money to bribe you to dive into 6PPC again.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. You definitely won't have to bribe me to get into 6PPC. I just need to do it. You know, I just need to do it. Appreciate that. Hey, thanks, Roy. Go and no go. The field is overkill. Yeah. Yeah, I figured the field was definitely overkill.
$9.99.
Go down the 338-06 rabbit hole. Well, there's a lot of cool stuff we could get into. How many hard drives will 6.5 PRC go through? Oh, you know what I was thinking we should do? I thought I had missed it, but I ended up getting one of these. Hey, look at that. I got the 100,000 plaque. Because, whoa, camera doesn't like it. There we go. But, like, whenever I hit 100,000, I think they send you a little code that you have to go to a website and redeem the code.
EDC Tribe super chatted $4.99. Any chance of more 38/357 mag? Bought a Henry lever action and looking for more ideas for loads.
Yes, definitely. Because yeah, like my Henry, we haven't done nearly enough in that gun, and yeah, I need a good deer load in that. Like we just kind of farted around a little bit with that, so very, very good chance that's going to happen. But oh yeah, what I was saying, so they ended up sending me another code. Like I thought I had bypassed, I had missed the code, and I'd read like if you miss your code, trying to get a new code issued to you so you can go and redeem one of these is impossible. So I was like, screw it. I didn't really care all that much. But then it popped back up and they sent me a code. So yeah, there it is. Whatever. Long story, very even longer.
Kobe Wobi super chatted $5.56. Thanks for all that you do.
Hey, thanks,
I've
Kobe.
learned a ton
Appreciate
over
that.
the years.
Well, what I'm thinking is maybe we should shoot a group through it or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Hey, Thomas, saw you. You made it back. I was showing off everybody, showing off the stuff you sent me, and showing off my Master Hunter dies a little bit earlier. I'll open them back up in case anybody missed it. Ooh, very pretty. These are my 6.5 PRC dies. So looking forward to trying the Redding Competition Cedar. Competition series. Should be fun. As soon as I get Headspace gauges, we'll be in business. 4D Reamer Rentals will rent you gauges. Yeah, I thought about that. And, well, and what it really came down to is, I don't know if it's going to be reality, but my idea for this gun is, okay, I've got a 300 Win Mag barrel, I've got a 6.5 PRC barrel, Maybe I get a 7 millimeter Magnum barrel eventually, or whatever. Like, well, where we take it wherever we take it, but I can occasionally switch barrels. And to do that, basically anytime I want, I need to have a set of gauges for each barrel, for each cartridge. So we'll see. But yeah, that's why I didn't want to rent one. I wanted to go ahead and have one for myself. That way I can, yeah, don't have to keep renting it over and over. Like those Reading competition cedars. I've always heard good things about them. For the most part, I've trying to recall. Yeah, I don't. I'm looking forward to trying it. I know they do have. I'm sure they'll have the same problem I've had with Forster ultramicrometer seeding dies, and they even give you a big warning. Competition cedar enclosed here is precision instrument and not suitable for seeding bullets over compressed loads of powder. So it'll really probably come down to that. If I treat it poorly, like a moron, like I've done with my Forsters, and try to seat super compressed loads and crack seeding stems and run into all of those problems, I'll have issues. If I keep things sensible, I bet it's going to be fantastic. Eugene just ordered a 300 PRC and thinks his wife is going to kill him. I'm sorry. 100,000 sub award would make for a good long range target up on a small clearing. I need it close enough to where I can hit it. I'm not very good. What tools did I go with? Barrel, vise, action wrench. Which barrel nut wrench? I've got the basic action wrench. Who is it? Caldwell. Just the standard one that they sell everywhere. And I think the barrel nut wrench I bought is also Caldwell. I think it's been like a month or 6 weeks since I've even thought about it or looked at it, so I can't remember for sure. Do Savage barrel nuts hold up retorquing multiple times? I don't think they do, and that reminded me. That's one thing I didn't buy, but I wanted to buy was another replacement barrel nut. So if anybody has any information on that, I'd appreciate it. Should I get a new barrel nut? I think I saw there's some, frickin' high-speed titanium barrel nuts or something available as well. Like, should I get a fancy barrel nut? Or does a generic Savage OEM replacement barrel nut work fine? There's always somebody out there trying to shave off 3 grams and charge 3 times as much, which is good. I'm not hating on innovation or anything, but have I ever loaded ammo for a 308 pistol? No, I have not. With the Savage, you use a go gauge and place 1 strip of Scotch tape and screw in your barrel. It gives you just over minimum headspace. Exactly, I've heard that. And that's kind of what I want to do. Like the next cartridge I am barreling for, that's the way I'd like to go. I'd like to get to a point where I feel comfortable just getting a go gauge, little piece of tape. That's all I need. But I just went with the full set here this first time because I want to test it. So I want to take my go gauge with the tape and I want to compare it to how does it feel versus a no go gauge. Or maybe I need to find just the right brand of tape or whatever. I just wanted to be prepared. I really need a drop tube to help with compressed loads. What percent of case fill is super compressed? I've gotten pretty stupid. I'd say, once you get past 105, 110%, you're getting pretty crunchy. I don't know. I've never really tracked that closely in Quickload or wherever you would gather such data. Still need to take some of my guns out further than 100 yards. As soon as I move to Montana, we're going to do that. Week 1 in Montana is going to be long range only. I'm going to rename the channel Johnny's Long Range Reloading Bench. Until then, I'm stuck in Kentucky, and I'm lucky to have 100 yards. Okay, so let's see. Mike says that yes, you can reuse the barrel nut. You should keep one barrel nut for each barrel. Okay. Have I done much with H1000? Yes. I would say I've probably shot more H1000 in 300 Win Mag than any other powder. So if you're asking about it in that context, just check out the 300 Win Mag playlist. You should see a bunch of videos testing different stuff with that. Thorzak says the Redding cedars, they leave a ring if you compress the load. Hornady cedar stems are the way to go. Yeah, I guess that's... I haven't, honestly, looked into 6.5 PRC all that much as far as components and stuff because, well, for one, I know I already have a lot of compatible components, so I just wasn't that freaked out about it. I don't... How common is it? Like with the most popular 6.5 PRC powders, are we normally compressing the crap out of them, trying to get more in there, or? Well, I'll tell you what. So if you tie it back to 6.5 Creedmoor with Reloader 26, if you remember tests I'd done in Creedmoor with that powder, those are probably some of the most compressed loads I've ever shot. Man, it's really absurd the amount of Reloader 26 we were trying to cram into a 6.5 Creedmoor case. So maybe even just in that situation, it's just a little bit more case capacity than the Creedmoor and gives you a little bit more room for your Reloader 26s and your H1000s of the world, maybe. I don't know. I think it'll be fun. Like I'm feeling very interested. I've got I'm eagerly anticipating this little project. So I'm pretty stoked. 3D printing truckers in Wyoming today. Wish had a long range bang bang with you. Saw in a video a while back, I had go gauges for primer pockets. Where did I get them? Because I haven't seen it. Yeah, they are from like Ballistic Tools, I think. Is that that? Yeah, I think it's Ballistic Tools. Did like a major nut does 1st century. Stand by. I'm gonna look it up because now I'm. Yeah, ballistictools.com. They call them swage gauges. And looks like the set with the large and the small is $22.99. Worth every penny in my opinion. I'm grabbing those stupid little things all the time. Have I ever tried the 80 grain ELD-M in 223 before? Was thinking about picking some up. I don't think I have. Like, man, it's like with the heavy 22 bullets, I've confused the crap out of myself because I've got Valkyrie 223 and crap, I can't even remember 22 Nosler, and I can't remember what I tested in what, and it's hard to remember sometimes. But I don't think I've tried the 80. Kyle says should be okay in 6.5 PRC if you do not go with the Rechambering class powders or light stuff. Okay. Yeah, and to be honest, I bought some Rechambering. I've got several pounds of Rechambering. And I've got IMR 8133. And I thought there was a third one. Oh, yeah, like I bought a pound of Vitavori in 565, I think it is. And like all three of they're too slow even for Win Mag. It's like even whenever I'm yeah, I'm sure they're perfect for heavy bullets, certain situations, but just as a general purpose 300 Win Mag powder, they're a pain in the butt. Just from so slow, so bulky, charge weight so high. Have I ever used Superformance? I'm trying to remember. If I have, it's been a while. Yeah, Dale mentions he's getting 100 feet per second extra on his 30-06. I remember when Superformance came out, it was kind of pretty hyped up about getting some extra velocity out of some really popular cartridges, but I just haven't shot much of it, I don't think. Who's buying you some short action custom dies? Man, they got some sweet stuff over there, man. They got some really sweet stuff. They've got like recently I was looking at their, I don't know if it's a fully universal seating die, but they've got a really nice seating die, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. That's definitely worth looking at. But even the sizing bushings, I know bolt action reloading's having a lot of luck with those. Nothing but love for short action customs. As long as you're ready for the Gucci price tags, 53 VMAX are longer than the 55 VMAX. Yeah, there's a couple of those in the Hornady lineup where. Well, I'm trying to remember which one it is. Isn't it one of the ELD matches? The one that fits in the AR magazine at 2.260 is the heavier one, but then there's a lighter one that won't fit. Or maybe that's the. Yeah. It's confusing sometimes, man. And I hate the fact that the bullet companies, when there's like a really special purpose, honestly, just about all of the bullets, especially these days, if a new bullet comes out, there's usually a specific use scenario for it. Like, here's the bullet for this specific competition discipline or this specific cartridge in a hunting scenario. Like, I wish they were better at documenting that, because like what is it? All the 155 grain bullets, those are all the Palma bullets, right? It's like, okay, what the hell does that mean? Like, well, why isn't there, like, whenever I go to the Sierra website for their whatever bullet, like, why didn't it tell me, like, okay, this is the extremely popular bullet in Palma shooting and like whatever. Give it. It's all just generic names. It's just another Match King. Good luck with it. Use it for whatever you want to. That's great, but like some information about the category of the bullet would be nice. Okay, sorry for the rant there, but that bit me a while back. I'm trying to remember what it was, but drives me crazy. Stayball 6.5 is too fast for 6.5 PRC. Yeah, I would assume maybe it's like age 4350, right? I'm sure it's probably the same way in 6.5 PRC with H 4350 or Reloader 16 or IMR 4451. It's probably just a little bit fast, right? But certainly usable. Like you could use all of those powders in there, I'm sure, but you could also go a little bit slower, get a little bit more velocity at lower pressures, and have an all-around safer setup. Kyle uses 8133 with 6.5 PRC and the 153 grain A-tips. Okay. Good to know something I can use it for. I've used it some. I think I used it with the 240 grain Match King in 300 Win Mag, if I'm not mistaken. I think it worked well. It was just... It's just one of the slowest options there are. That and Rechambering and a couple others. Funis managed to get the 52 grain Hornady soft point to stabilize in a Tikka 22250 1 in 12 twist, but they are short. A lot of it has to do with bullet length. I found as lighter, longer barns wouldn't stabilize. Yeah, and that's one of the big challenges with like the all copper bullets. I think it's all about length, right? Like weight really doesn't have anything to do with it. It really is all about length. I'm probably wrong there. Maybe there is some weight component to it as well, but have I done any more testing with the tuner brake? No, and I'd like to. You know, like I know a billion, million, trillion people ask me about tuners all the time now because Eric Cortina makes them, and I guess a lot of people are super interested in them now and stuff. And I bought that Harrell's Precision Tuner brake. Or hold on, somebody bought that for me, didn't they? Sometimes it's hard to remember. But
Thomas Miller's super chatted $49.99. A little more change for the PRC fund.
Hey, Thomas, I really appreciate that. That's kind of ridiculous. You've been more than generous. I appreciate it very much. Oh, forgot what I was talking about now. Whatever. Oh, the tuner brake. That's what it was. So yeah, I would like to pull out that tuner brake and do a little bit more testing with it. But the problem is to really test it, to really document. Like what I would like to do, what I'd love to do is, all right, here's our load, whatever. We're going to play with our tuner brake. I want to tune it until it's good. I want to keep on tuning it until it's bad. I want to tune it until it's good again. I want to compare this good node to that good node. I want to see what's going on. You know, like I want to see it. And that's a massive, insane number of rounds to do it and prove it and repeat it and really kind of show it working. And I don't think most people want to see that. They want to see me, you know, make 3 tiny adjustments, shoot a small group and say, here's your answer to small groups with any gun ever. I think, yeah. So, yes, at some point I'll get that freaking breakout and I'll play with it and I'll make videos out of it and hopefully we'll learn something from it. But it's just, ever since I got it, it's always just seemed like an overwhelming topic to get into because I don't want to half-ass it. I want to fully test it and see it and show it and learn it. And I don't know if the audience has the appetite for that sort of series. You know what I mean? Especially this is a reloading channel, and it's another thing that I think a lot of people just don't understand. Like, if you're constantly jacking around with reloading like I am, like, you're going to constantly be jacking around with a tuner as well. Like, I'm not saying that reloading and tuning can't be paired and used together, especially, maybe you work up your load and then you find just throughout your match season or whatever with your tuner, whatever. I'm sure there's a million ways where they work together well, but at least for me, as a backyard plinker, they're really competing things. Like, I reload, so I don't really want to have a tuner break that I'm constantly messing with. I want a constant muzzle and barrel behavior. So that's all I've got to say about that, I guess.
Michael Dufresne super chatted $10, funds to Igor the other calibers and do all 6mm ARC, all the time, smiley face.
Thank you, Michael. I'll be sure to do that.
Tex Patriot super chatted $1.99 for one primer at gunbroker prices.
Thank you, Tex Patriot. Appreciate that. Yeah, like Bolt Action Reloading says, a proper tuner test seems difficult to do well. Exactly 3 shots and you're done, right? Yeah. Yep. Or you'd think there'd just be a plain old gun channel that doesn't reload who'd have nothing better to make videos about and do a whole tuner series. Tell all of us reloaders how we're wasting our time. Just get a tuner. Oh God, NK asks, am I going to finish out the 2250 load development this spring? Yes. We got to get that one done. I got to. I say it every time. I've been saying it for a year and a half now or something. I got to get that done and get that gun back to my brother. I think we're on the right track there. I'm just going to work up a 55 grain gold dot load for it. Whichever frickin' VMAX we ended up having some luck with. We'll do a basic load for that and just kind of move on. So, yeah. And then I need to get a 22250 of my own. But I've always said that I wanted to get a fast twist 22250 so I could shoot some heavier bullets. But then, the 22250 is popular. Like those videos do well. A lot of people ask about it. A lot of people want to see it. And I'd hate to put the money into building a setup and then it's really not matching what people want to see anyway. Like, oh, okay, great, dude. You just shot 90 grain bullets. Who gives a crap? Nobody's shooting 90 grain bullets in 22250. Aren't you a special snowflake? So I'll have to be careful about choosing my twist, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make here, so that I can stay relevant, but maybe also spice it up a little bit. Maybe at least get to some slightly heavier bullets. Did I see Gavin Tube did temperature? No, I didn't. Was this recently or was this a long time ago? Remember back whenever I did my first temperature tests, and then he had done a video shortly thereafter but I hadn't seen any more from him since then, and I hadn't done any more. So hopefully he's picked it back up, and it's a good topic that I think is going to provide some useful feedback. So that's this week's video. That's my plan, is to get at least 10 powders tested, and I'm trying to figure out a way to just cram more powders into one test. I might end up doing like multiple guns. Like maybe I'll do. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out my process, but I'd like to plow through a bunch of powders and get some test data, because I think it's useful. It just may not be very interesting videos, but that's okay. It's okay if videos are a little bit boring if they're providing some decent info. D-Dub has the EC tuner, and it was not the funnest tuning, not the funnest tuning, while also testing load development. You were overwhelmed. Have to mess with it this summer when I have more time to find best group and then test. That's exactly. It's just another godforsaken variable when, man, we got a whole lot of variables to mess with as reloaders already. Kudo said, tuners aside, I've always shot tighter groups with a suppressor on. I'm not convinced millimeter adjustments of a weight on the barrel matters much. Man, I'm telling you what, I don't doubt that they work at all. I mean, all of the rimfire bench rest people use them, I think. Like, well, a lot of things go back to my grandfather, where I learned a lot of stuff, and on top of centerfire stuff, he was really big in rimfire bench rest as well.
Abrams tank super chatted $1.
Hey, appreciate that, brother. But yeah, he had. I've got a bunch of other tuners, and I've probably got some bench rest bull barrel 22 long rifles we could donk around with tuners with. But that's somebody else's subject to do videos about. We're backed up enough on reloading stuff. But I do basically agree. And it kind of goes back to a lot of that, like the lump testing, we called it, where we were testing barrel harmonics stuff with different weights and whatnot. I think a lot of that, just in hindsight, I think a lot of it just has to do, it might still go back to recoil management as much as anything. Like I shoot better with my suppressor because the suppressor helps manage the recoil. Is that it? I don't think that's it. Like, I think there's some harmonic-y sort of stuff going on there. But I'm open to listening if you want to say that. Yeah, it's just
$4.99.
Hey, appreciate that, Tommy. Thanks, man. Appreciate all you guys. Yeah, a lot of you guys mentioning that the faster twist 22-250 might not be too bad. 1-in-8 twist looks like. Jeffrey's got a 1-in-7. Justin says build a 22-250 AR-10. That's been the plan, and I think probably that's the way I'll end up going. It's my cheapest entry into it, right? Like it's the cheapest way for me to do it. But then we have all of the, well, just like we've fought in Creedmoor and 308. Just AR-10s are rough on brass, and yeah, I'm sure 22-250 will be the same, so it might add a little sprinkle of frustration to the process, let's be honest. Yeah, D-Dub, that's really, nobody wants to hear that, but that's what I was thinking as well. Like something like 22 Creedmoor or one of the other Fast 20 um, modern, recently released 22s is probably the better choice for the fast twist, but the popularity of 22250 makes that a tougher decision than it really should be. Thomas wants a dasher, but just can't convince yourself to bite that off yet. What if we use the shot marker at 0 yards with just a frame and no target as a chronograph? You know, why? I, I think I missed the why on that one, but it might work. I'm sure Muzzle Blast would probably jack it all up. So it would need to be a little ways away. When I truly have nothing better to do, maybe we'll test that one day. Yeah, Joe mentions that he thinks suppressors might give a more consistent and less disruptive gas release around the bullet as it exits the barrel. I don't know where I heard that, but it makes more sense to me than harmonics. I'm with you. I've heard that and I agree. It also kind of makes some sense.
Wikia Pratt super chatted $4.99. I've made a few shooting videos. Shannon, could someone please watch and post the first comment?
There we go. Hell, we can watch one right here. Let's see. With my interface, it's kind of... Stand by. Oh, I forgot the C in your name. That's why it's not coming up. There we are. I'll subscribe. Let's see. All right, let's... We could watch some milk jugs. Tell you what, let me post this. There you go. Go check out his channel. Justin asks, any interest in the 2545 Sharps cartridge? Not really. For one, other than... Well, I've got an old sporterized Arasaka chambered in 257 Roberts. And I've got a piece that's broken on it that I need to find and get replaced before I can shoot it again. Or at least I think so. I need to pull it out and maybe inspect it again, whatever. But yeah, whatever. That's the only 25 caliber I've really got. So I don't have the bullet stockpile or the 25 caliber interest that would make me attracted to the 2545 Sharps. So you get what I'm saying? So that's like, I don't have anything negative to say about 2545 Sharps. It's just that It's just, for me, it's an oddball caliber, and it would mean buying more crap than, let's say I was getting into a 30 caliber cartridge. I got bullets, I got universal seating dies, I got all sorts of stuff that will work. So, yeah. $6mm Grendel would just be 6 arc, wouldn't it? Oh, don't let him hear you say that. But yeah, in reality, it's pretty much the same. Really tiny for us to see. Yeah, I can switch it around like this so we can see a little bit better. I was going to play one of his videos, but then I was thinking, like, well, maybe I should just send you over there and you watch it yourself. Tell you what, Wick, you want us to watch one? Tell what should we watch here? Couple long ones, couple short ones here recently. What 308 Win grain weight bullet would you recommend for a good hunting load? Oh, okay. So for 308, like, I guess the traditional, like, if you go in the gun store and look at your factory ammo, you're generally going to see 150s and 168s most commonly, in my experience. Certainly, some other stuff in that weight range, but yeah, 150 or 168, you can't go wrong with either one. Maybe it's, a matter of, do you like a heavier bullet, a little bit more energy down range, perhaps? Maybe you don't quite need the range, maybe it's a shorter range situation like me in Kentucky where I don't need to worry about past 150 yards maybe. Like, I could shoot 180s if I wanted to get as much energy down range as I wanted. But then again, 125 grain bullets going super fast get the job done as well. So, 308, it's a capable cartridge for deer. I'm assuming you're talking about deer. I always assume, but that's dumb of me. If you're talking about moose, then you're in trouble. If you're talking about white-tailed deer or something, you got a lot of options. Yeah, 101 uses 150s and 30-06. Conan mentions, 150 to 168. Chad's going to bed. Take it easy, man. Any experience from Bergara rifles? I've never had one. Had a lot of people recommend them. I think they've got a lot of fans out there. Watch the first one. All right, let's watch it. Let's watch a video. Let me hide that. We'll watch this. Get my volumes figured out here. Where we at? 50 or 100? Man, that gun looks like a lot of fun. SWFA straight 20x Super Sniper. 18-inch Green Mountain barrel. Do you like that that 4AW V1 adjustable bag base? An adjustable bag base would really be probably a smart investment for me. Ely match ammo. That is pretty darn cool. Good deal, man. Yeah, hopefully got you a couple subscribers. If I can get my... There we are. Now we're back. Sometimes you got to put the calipers down and shoot some rim fire. Yeah, maybe we'll have maybe I'll have a rim fire week. Do a rim fire video one day. I think I've got a couple different flavors of Ely ammo. Have I figured out the optimum seating depth and charge weight grid? No, and I'll tell you where that project sits. Like, I got the spreadsheet done and I just need another data set. So I need to sit down and reload that 100 rounds. And I want to do the same thing also in 6 PPC. So I want to do a 308 data set and a 6 PPC data set. Take that data, run it back through the spreadsheet, and see what we get. And I just, man, whew, that's a lot of loading. I just haven't plucked up the motivation to get that knocked out. So, hopefully soon. I think it's a sound idea. I think there's something we can learn from it. But it's just completely and utterly impractical for everybody. Anybody. You know, no one's going... It's just not practical. So... Yeah. It might be a learning experience, but I don't know that it's going to be something we can really use going forward. Therefore, what's the point? But I want to go and I want to finish it. You know, like we did that first video. The idea's out there. I'd like to go ahead and kind of close that and complete it. So I just need to do that. At some point I will.
Hunter super chatted $2. Will you ever try an optimal barrel time test?
Hey, thanks BMG Hunter. Yeah, I'll tell you what it all comes down to with me for optimal barrel time testing. That theory, that paper, that white paper, whatever you want to call it, that makes more sense to me than anything else I've ever read about anything. All of the other barrel whipping harmonics horse crap that I've read just seems like astrology. But that, the optimal barrel time paper, just, man, it's like, this is it. Like, this is the answer. This guy knows what's going on. He's cracked the code. The problem with that is I could never go over to Quickload and get numbers that I felt were accurate. So if I can't get Quickload to match, my reality, if I can't get that model to match my reality, then the barrel time numbers aren't going to match my reality either. So it's like the barrier to entry on optimal barrel time is getting Quickload or Gordon's set up to give you numbers that you trust. And that's the mountain I haven't made it over. So I'd love to. It makes sense. I think it's brilliant. The entire thing is brilliant. And I'd love to integrate it into my load development, definitely. So hopefully at some point. Joe would like to see a series on testing GRT versus the real world. I actually had that planned. Like I had planned. Like Gordon had reached out to me. I had exchanged a couple emails with him, and like I was kind of planning to do it. And then, he passed away, and I don't know where they're at on trying to move forward with application development. So I guess I'm going to wait and see here for a little bit. Let's see. Does GRT have a future? Is it going to be something, or because if it's not something that is going to be able to be updated moving forward, and it's kind of a frozen software, then it's probably not worth spending the time on it.
Wikiaprat super chatted $4.99. Thanks Shannon and everyone for watching. I promise the videos will get better and longer.
I appreciate it, man. And man, don't sweat it. Just make videos you like. It's I don't know. Making videos is tough, man. Just trying to figure out what you want to say, how you want to say it's pretty tough.
The average reloader super chatted $4.99. Hey Shannon, been a viewer for past 4 years, and last year I started my own channel from inspired by your. I have done videos on the GRT and Wildcats.
Hey, thanks average reloader.
The underscore kill shot super chatted $1.
Appreciate you, kill shot. I wish I could. Yeah, so let me see here. Let me make sure I'm subscribed to you. I know I've seen some of your videos before. Yeah, here's the average reloader. Let's hit him up as well. There's a link to his channel also. How's it going, Lead Bullet Junkie? Paul downloaded GRT, messed around with some stuff. Don't trust your setup enough to not double check data against print source. Yeah, and like even so with Quickload, like what I need to do probably is sit down with a cartridge and a bullet and a powder where I feel like I've shot enough to where I've got some data to feed it and adjust things and try to get the model to match my reality. And I just haven't sit down to do it. And every time I do, like I've tried in the past, and it's like, what's the point of this? Like if I have to go in and tweak every little thing before it gives me anything I'm really comfortable with back, like what's I'll just go out, test it, and observe it for myself. It's tough. Like it's.
Peter Gortson super chatted $1.99. Have a problem with my Odin Works 6mm arc under gas.
Hey Peter, thanks. By the way, I don't remember someone else. I don't know if it was you or someone else. The exact same thing. They had sent me emails, or might have been during a chat, where they had bought an arc barrel from Odinworks and it was under gas. So I assume you're using the Odinworks gas block that came with it, that you have checked your alignment. Like I know actually on my 6 arc, I need to fix my alignment. It's a little bit off, but I usually shoot suppressed, so it covers up a lot of undergassing issues, right? So without the suppressor, mine might be in the same boat. I'm not sure. But when you run into that, if you know your gas block is good and it's aligned and it's sealed and you're not leaking gas and all of that has been done, you're kind of screwed. Like your options are to drill the gas port bigger, or that's about it, right? I mean, you're kind of screwed. Or send it back to them, or call them and talk to them about the situation. But that's not the first time I've heard that. You're looking to learn loading 350 Legend. Do I have any advice on bullets and loadouts for the 350 Legend? Unfortunately, not. The 350 Legend I need to get into. That's another one that people are constantly asking about, and I think that cartridge is here to stay. It has a lot of fans, so yeah. Unfortunately, I don't. Like I know a lot of people are. Yeah, I don't know enough about the cartridge to give much of any.
The underscore kill shot super chatted $2. Any tip reloading 350 legend rounds and bullet types?
And so I know you can shoot 9mm bullets, right? And you can shoot 357 bullets. Like I'm trying to remember. Like what's it even really made for? Like what's the bullet diameter on factory ammo, or what's the groove diameter of the standard 350 Legend barrels that are being put out there? I'm just not even sure. Haven't. Hopefully somebody else will point us in the right direction, but CCX says, as long as you own a drill, nothing is undergassed. That's very true. Kyle says, if I want some help with GRT, there are a couple of us that can help. Super simple once you understand the process. Yeah, I appreciate that. I actually I need to download the. Well, okay, so the last time I looked into it, it was somebody had cracked the latest build to remove the expiration, and that was going. So I guess I need to download that because the version I've got is probably either expired or going to expire. How have the recruitment efforts gone? Like, have you guys got your little development team coming together? Is there a roadmap sort of deal? Like, does it look like it's even possible to reconstruct things and keep the project going? Seemed like a really steep. Yeah, really steep challenges to overcome. Bolt action reloading almost picked up a 350 Legend twice, but whenever there's a sale, it seems they're out of stock instantly. Actually, Odin Works. Is it on there? Are they selling barrels yet? It's like they had reached out and asked if I wanted a barrel. See, let's go check out their website. Where are barrels? I don't want uppers, lowers, none of that. I want barrels. Barrels. There we
John
go.
Q super chatted $20. Thanks for all the great information.
Hey, John, appreciate that very much. Let's see where to go. Yeah, 350 Legend. Yeah, so it looks like they've got a 10.5 inch carbine and a 16.1 inch mid length. Okay, loading.
Tommy Jensen super chatted $4.99. What chronograph would you recommend? The under the barrel type or the Caldwell?
Man, you ask a very deep question, sir. Uh, I, so I generally use the lab radar, and I like the lab radar. I used the magneto speed for years, and I really like the magneto speed. The biggest downside on the magneto speed is you got something attached to your barrel, and even if you don't think it's a problem, everybody that walks by is going to make sure that like, bro, that on your barrel, that's going to mess you up. It's like, oh, just leave me alone. Just let me shoot my frickin'.
Steve S super chatted $4.99. Newish reloader, you are the baseline for what I know.
Hey, thanks, Steve. That is scary. You might want to fill in with a manual, maybe watch some bolt action reloading. Like, I'm probably some missing info there. But yeah, so lab radar is okay. It's expensive. Magneto speed is okay. It's hanging on your barrel. And like the standard style, the light style, like the basic $79 Caldwell setup, those can be very frustrating because you need consistent light and you need room to set it up out there, and a little bit of a pain in the butt, and you get some funky readings, and it can be a little bit frustrating. So yeah, brother, I don't know. I think the you might look at the Magneto Speed Sporter. is a cheaper version of the Magneto Speed. It's got some limitations, I think, as far as what size barrel it goes on and some stuff like that, but that's another option. Yeah, Lab Radar if you got your money. Magneto Speed will get you killed in the streets.
Trek on 3 super chatted $20. Want to thank you for dedication to the cause. I've probably watched your process and testing results more than anyone on the web. Shot a 0.18 inch, 5-shot group, the very first reloads made in 6.5 centimeters. And for that, thank you, sir.
Hey, appreciate that, Trek on 3. That is super awesome to hear. Watch me just for my software setup. When's the last time I risked it on a cheap barrel? Well, it depends what you mean by that. I'm kind of just done with that. It can be very, very frustrating trying to get decent performance out of a bad barrel or a barrel that's just never, here's the deal. 999 out of 1,000 AR-15s that has ever been produced is never going to even shoot a group, let alone be owned by someone who cares about not only a group, but a small group. So there's just a lot of super crap barrels out there, just standard rack grade, whatever, AR barrels. So yeah, brother, it's frustrating trying to make it happen cheap. It can happen. Like, heck, I had a $79 300 blackout barrel from Midway, an AR Stoner that was a great shooter. It was a really good shooter. So it can happen. And I think a lot of it is, very cartridge specific. Like, I wouldn't, well, you look at some of my 308 videos. Like, I even bought a JP 308 barrel and couldn't get that one to shoot until I finally bought a Krieger. So maybe something like 308, I would recommend, just get you a Krieger, man. Save your pennies and buy a Krieger. If you're saying you're going to get into 6.5 Creedmoor, well, that's a different story. It's like, it almost seems hard to make a 6.5 Creedmoor barrel that shoots crappy. There's a lot of cheap 6.5 Creedmoor guns out there that shoot surprisingly well. So there's something inherently about that cartridge that makes it easy to chamber for, I guess, or something. Yeah, I don't know, man. Cheap barrels will give you a lot of gray hair. Do I have a 270 or a 25-06? I do have a 25-06. Need to pull that guy out and shoot it at some point. It's attached, that barrel is on a gun that's supposed to be a 220 Swift. So I need to pull out the 25-06, shoot a couple videos with it, and then get that gun off to a gunsmith to get a 220 Swift barrel put on it. It's kind of a long-term goal, but we could pull out 25-06 just about any time. Just one of my grandfather's old guns. I've never even shot that gun as a 25-06. I've shot it as a 220 Swift growing up, shooting with him, groundhog hunting and stuff, but I've never even fired it with the 25-06 barrel on there. .5 PRC barrel is free, so that is the ultimate risk. That's true. Yeah, and you know, these factory Savage barrels, I guess you could certainly consider those cheap barrels or production quality barrels. There's a lot of good barrel manufacturers now, and the competition is bringing down the price on good barrels. That's good to hear. Davis had to work. What he missed? Nothing. We just been chatting, killing some time, talking, reloading. What's up, Joey? New to the channel? Just getting started. Good to have you. Install the latest version of Quickload, and folks will sub just a sneak peek at some of the powder and bullet profiles. Yeah, that's another. Quickload's aggravating. Take it easy, Daniel. Those Midway barrels are Bear Creek Arsenal OEM. Oh, really? I didn't know Bear Creek Arsenal made. Do they make all the AR Stoner barrels? Davis got super lucky, got a Krieger in 6 weeks, normally 12 months lead time. Yeah, I didn't wait all that long. I think I waited a couple months, but it wasn't that bad. But I was buying, I bought one of their was M110 profile AR10 barrels. I think they turned those around reasonably quick. I think Krieger are worth the money. It does seem that way. Tell you what, that 308 AR10 is insane. I love shooting that thing. They really aren't that much extra money. I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess it just depends on, how tight you are on your budget. But if you're building $1,000 gun, an extra 150, $200 on the barrel seems like a smart investment to me. Especially, like I said, if you're the one out of 100 that's going to care whether your gun will shoot a group. Do a 270 video. My grandfather's 270. I don't know who has it. I could probably get a hold of it. So I could probably get a hold of a 270. What I need to do is borrow my nephew's 30-06. Maybe whenever I take my brother's 22 250 back, I'll grab their 30-06.
WW Super Chatted $4.99.
Hey, appreciate you, WW. Mike used the tub's final finish bullets work to improve the accuracy of your cheap 20-inch AR-15 barrel. Yeah, no, bolt action reloading used that tub's final finish system on one of his barrels, if I'm not mistaken, a couple years back in some videos. I don't think he had negative results. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't remember there being anything negative about it. I've heard some people recommend it, and it's easy to see why with the Tubbs name on it, you know. Yeah, Lead Bullet Junkie's got a problem with his 300 Blackout Ballistic Advantage barrel and some no-name 308 fluted barrel that need to get trashed. It's kind of it's hard, at least it's for me to give up on a barrel, you know, like even if it's a cheap one, that's money, you know, that's money that's been spent, and it's hard to. Well, I remember whenever I was, you know, whenever I was building my 308 AR-10 upper, it was between JP and Krieger, and you know we were going back and forth trying to decide what it was, and there it just so happened there was some JP had some clearance barrels that were exactly what I wanted, and I went that way. But man, I expected that to be an awesome shooting barrel, and it just wasn't. Have we talked about the 300 Win Mag? A little bit here and there. If you got anything specific you want to bring up, be happy to talk some 300 Win Mag. Rusty says for AR, White Oak or Compass Lake Engineering. That's like, you know, my current. If White Oak makes the barrel I'm after, I'm buying a White Oak. That's all there is to it. Like they've got me for life, right? Like the performance I've got out of the barrels I've got from them, fantastic. The problem runs into, well, like the 6 arc and the 6.5 Grendel and some other stuff that they don't chamber in. You know, I've had really good luck with Odinworks. So that's those between those two on the AR-10 or AR-15 side of things, they've covered just about everything I need. But yeah, so between those two and Krieger, that's the way I've gone for the last several barrels I've bought. Yeah, Bolt Action Reloading used that Tubbs final finish in his Compass in 300 Win Mag. That's what it was. Thank you for reminding me. Frankie likes ballistic advantage barrels. I've kind of had, you know, it's. I guess that's another thing I should say. You know, it's not like barrels are always really good or really bad. There's a whole lot of room in the middle, and I guess my experience with ballistic advantage up to this point has been somewhere in the middle. Like the 6.5 Creedmoor AR-10 barrel I've got is ballistic advantage, and like man, we were shooting those insane groups with those 130 grain burger bullets last time I had that out. So like it can shoot, but testing some other bullets, we've also seen some kind of average results as well. So, and you know what? Sometimes a gun like that is more fun to load for, especially if you know you're building it for the fun of reloading for it. A gun where you gotta work a little bit can be a lot of fun. Like So my 6.5 Grendel is a Faxon barrel, and that gun has been kind of hit or miss. You know, some bullets it really likes, and some bullets it just doesn't. And ballistic advantage, at least my Creedmoor barrel kind of seems to be the same way. So I think as far as the Krieger AR-10 barrel goes, the only thing we've put through it that it didn't like was that 147 grain M80 bullet. I just don't think it's possible to shoot a good group with those. But then, hey, you know, like over the years, we've certainly seen some crappy groups in 223 with our White Oak Armament barrel. No matter how good a barrel is, you can find a bullet that's not going to shoot well. So it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough market. It's tough to navigate because there's just so much BS. The pile of BS in the gun industry is very high and very, very stinky. So wading through that can be a lot of fun. Anyone try Wilson combat barrels? Like the looks of their profiles. My new 300 Blackout barrel is a Wilson combat. And it's been okay so far. Biggie says Sammy 308 has a tapered freebore, essentially built shot out. Pull out the reamer and it's already worn out. Tommy's killed 15 blacktail with his 270. I've always heard good things about 270. I've just like, yeah, I've been I bought a 30-06 instead of a 270 basically back in the day whenever I was picking my hunting rifle, you know. But a lot of good options. 270 certainly one of them. How can you convince your friend he needs a chronograph to dial in his long range rifles that he's yet to even try over 300 meters? His argument is if he uses his nice Sacco rifles, it'll be fine testing at 100 meters. Why are you all up his butt, man? Why are you giving him a hard time? Just let him enjoy his gun. If he's fine, if he's happy, what's you know, mind your business. What, don't you have something to mess with? Ain't you got a gun you need working on? It's hard to pull somebody into your way of thinking sometimes. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to know when to give up, let them be. You know, if they're happy in their ignorance, then let them be happy, I say. Davis hears Odin and it makes his skin crawl a little. What? What happened? Is that like going back? Do I need you to send me a proper 22 Grendel upper? No. Thank you though. Appreciate that offer. Going back. Okay, so that's just a cryptic comment about Odin. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm way behind. I need to get caught up. Ignorance is bliss. Exactly. Am I really going to rechamber the 300 Win Mag to 6.5 PRC? Yep, that's really one of the main reasons I bought the Savage 110 was for the easy barrel swaps and stuff. You know, I'm not going to melt down the 300 Win Mag barrel. I'm still going to have it, and we'll put it back together and shoot it some more in the future and all that stuff. But as soon as those Headspace gauges come in, we're going to make it a 6.5 PRC. Play with that for a while. Yeah, Fred, that's a good point. If you don't have a chronograph, you can verify velocity with a ballistic table and an estimate of your BC. Yeah, I mean that's the way I always did it. A lot of the manuals, or I guess I shouldn't say a lot of the manuals. Doesn't the Hornady manual have a whole chart? There was one company that had a whole second manual that was just drop tables. Hang on, it's going to drive me crazy now. Stand by. Just 1 second. Well, I guess these days you can just go on the Hornady website and use their 4DOF calculator and all that garbage. But yeah, back in the day, so the Hornady manual was 2 volumes, and the second one was all tables and charts, where you'd have a look at your drop and go try and figure out, or you could work backwards and figure out your velocity. So it's certainly possible. Lineman had drop tables. Yeah, I think there were a couple that had, just charts in the back. Wayne says his Arrow M5 6.5 Creedmoor is very heavy considering dropping the 6.5 for 308. That's my biggest problem with the AR-10 is, man, they're heavy. And they just don't feel good in the hand, if that makes sense. Like, I don't necessarily think it's just 100% weight. It's the weight distribution and the way, it doesn't feel like a handy rifle. Something off about it. And yeah, I'm sure I could work on that. Shorter barrel, different stock, mess with the balance sort of stuff and get it to be a handier rifle. Without further ado, says, can't recall his name, but the guy that developed the 270 secretly still preferred the 30-06. Hey, Mr. Caveman made it home from work. Good to see you, man. Ooh, NK, his 22-250 is in a Savage 110. What would be a good long action partner barrel for it? Don't have a 308, 6.5 or anything bigger yet. Wow. Dude. You've got the whole world in the palm of your hands right now. You could go anyway. It's really all going to depend on, your applications. You've got a 22-250. Did you get that because you're a varmint guy? Are you looking for another varmint cartridge? Are you looking for something heavier to complement? Okay, so you got a 22. Maybe you want a 30 caliber to cover as much ground as possible on the big game side of things. Too many options to even think about there. It makes my head hurt. Yeah, back then you could only afford one volume. Man, books are expensive. I wonder how much. Let's see if this thing had a price still on it. It bought in 1994. That wasn't too long ago, was it? Which edition is that? This is the 4th edition. Veterans and a one rifle kind of guy, one rifle per year. Burr says, if I want a nice light rifle that handles amazing, build a Vietnam era M16 clone with an actual 625 pencil barrel. Know you like Milsurps too. Use Green Mountain for barrel. If I was going to build kind of a retro AR, it would be an A2 clone that matches, what I had. So I was in the Marines from 96 to 2000. So it was all M16 A2 at that point. But yeah, those old pencil barrels are pretty cool. And I like the AR-15. Like I really, really, especially well, for the most part, standardized on 18-inch barrels, and I really find that to be a handy rifle with a really good balance and actually with several different stocks, it just feels good. It feels good to shoot, feels good to shoulder.
Tommy Jansen super chatted $4.99. What is your favorite reloading manual for .223 to 5.56? Any with good subloads? Is the only powders I can use are Clay or Trail Boss? No others? Helps.
Favorite reloading manual for 223 or 5.56? I would say, I guess they're all good for 223 and 5.56, right? Because that's going to be one of the biggest sections in any manual you get. So they've all got pretty good data. If I had to, like right now, the one I grabbed the most is stupid Sierra. I wish they would offer a frickin' standard bound copy, because I hate using their app. I hate using this godforsaken 3-ring binder, but their data as of this, this edition just seems to be the most up to date. It's got like the powders I'm interested in, the bullets I'm interested in. This always seems to point me in the right direction. I don't think they have any subsonic 223 stuff. I think the only official subsonic 223 data I know of is at the Hodgson website, which I'm assuming that's where you're getting the Clays and Trail Boss from. Yeah. So Sierra manual's good. The Hornady manual is also really, really good. The Hornady's really good about having all the latest cartridges and the newest stuff. You know, they release it more often than a lot of the other companies. So good to have a Hornady manual, good to have a Sierra manual. You're going to own them all eventually, probably. So that's not much of an answer, but hopefully it helps. Gun Nut got married in 1994. So what year did you get divorced?
Steve S. super chatted $1.99, cause you're a fellow jarhead.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Wayne was in from 90 to 02, 70 51 crash crew. I was a 2841 ground radio repairman. Yeah, Conan has a couple guns with 18-inch barrels. Agrees that it's a great barrel length. It just feels good to me for some reason. It just, the balance is right. It's handy. It slings well. It carries well. 16s are great too. But well, I guess so my first 6.5 Grendel, if you go back to the beginning of my 6.5 Grendel playlist, you'll see me shooting a 24-incher, god awful heavy. Like that gun felt like an AR-10. It was as heavy as an AR-10 just about. So that's what really kind of pushed me to, like, yeah, I got to get some more reasonable barrel lengths, more reasonable weights. And the 18 gives me, maybe a little extra velocity over the 16, but still keeps the light feel. I think that really came down to, the SPR profile that was available at White Oak just seemed like the right match, and I think that was the first 18-inch barrel I had, and it just kind of went from there. Freaking Marines coming out everywhere. We're everywhere, man. Why do I hate the Sierra app? The stupid slider, the frickin' velocity slider drives me crazy. Just show me starting and max frickin' charge weights in one look. I don't like all the slider crap. It's usable though. Barrett's watching 25 minutes behind, but still commented that he liked the 25-06. There are loads for near sub 223 with 13.5 blue dot with 55 grains. Is that from Alliant or is that from somewhere else? Second edition reloading for the AR. Heard it had subsonic loads on it. Anybody have that manual? Who made that man? Was that a Lyman? Was it Lyman that put out the separate AR manual at one point? I never owned it, but I remember there being one. I skipped the 6.8 SPC. The Grendels are bolt busters. Why have you ignored the 6.8 when the King of Jordan arms his royal guard with a 90 grain gold dot in it? That, I mean, it's honest. I mean, being honest, that's true. I've always overlooked 6.8 SBC. By the time, hell, before I ever bought my first AR, it was already an old cartridge, had been around a while, and was already, you know, tagged with the failure sort of label. But a lot of people love the 6.8 SBC. Tons of people. It kind of goes back to earlier where I was talking about 25-45 sharps. I just don't have a bunch of bullets laying around waiting to be shot in a 6.8 SBC. You know what I mean? Like, but I guess at the time I didn't have. I'm trying to remember, did I get a Grendel first or a Creedmoor first? I think I got the Grendel first. So that excuse doesn't really hold up. But yeah, I mean, you know, I used to worry about bolt breakage and all that until I reloaded like a complete freaking moron for like 3 years, and I still haven't broken any bolts. You know, you watch my 6.5 Grendel playlist, like, man, I do all sorts of stupid stuff. Way over pressure, tearing up brass. Still haven't broken a bolt. And my first bolt was just one that came with my barrel from Brownells. But now I've also got a Maxim bolt. So I get your point. Like, I know it happens. Like, yeah, Davis there mentions he's never once broke a Grendel bolt. I don't think most people do, but, you know, it's out there. It's real. It happens. You know, you take a company like White Oak Armament. I think he just refuses to chamber in anything with that bolt face. And it makes sense to me. You know, like that whole company, they're all about winning matches, right? You don't want to be at the national matches and have a bolt breakage, I guess. And thinking about making it through a season and stuff where I don't have to worry about any of that crap. My bolt breaks, I don't really give a crap unless I'm hunting, I guess. But I understand how for some people in mission critical situations it could be something to definitely worry about. But I just have decided not to worry about it and move on with my life, basically. Yeah, Big E, yeah, you're right. I had the Grendel quite a ways before the Creedmoor, now that I think about it, because the Creedmoor was the first compass I bought. There's two different specs on the Grendel. Don't even get me started, brother. Don't even get me started. I've got like an epic rant back in one of my videos where I went through all of that. Type 1, Type 2, Grendel 1, Grendel 2. Bull crap, man. Whew. I think it hurt the cartridge. I think the confusion around all of the Grendel variants just confused the crap out of the market and hurt the cartridge. Could be wrong. What are my thoughts on doing a 6-arc bolt action reloading series? Probably not going to happen. If you know, I know. Losing my marbles. People have too many names. Eagle Eye Shooting. Yes, okay, sorry. Eagle Eye Shooting has done videos with bolt action 6mm arc. So that might be a good resource if you're looking for info. But if I was going to get a bolt action rifle, I'd probably just go with something bigger or something that I don't already have in an AR-10 probably. It's up there, southeast Michigan. That's it about White Oak. They are about winning matches. That's the feeling I get, right? And I can understand people with that mindset not wanting to fool with the Grendel bolts. Me, I'm fine with it. I thought about doing videos where I just load the most ridiculous crap I can think and see if I can break one. But people seem to complain about it less these days. I think early days in the Grendel, like it was still, it still felt new, but maybe this will be a problem. But now we've got years of experience and there's no massive amounts of bolts out there breaking, so I'm just not going to freak out about it, I guess. Sell the Grendel, buy a Legend. I don't need to sell the Grendel to buy a Legend. We could just buy a Legend. I think I'm going to have to do a 350 Legend. For one, so I need, I think it'd be an awesome Ohio hunting rifle for me. So I live close enough to Ohio that sometimes I'll buy an out-of-state hunting license and go over there to deer hunt. So it'd be perfect for that. And it's popular. People are asking me about it. I want to do things that appeal to a wide audience. So it seems like that might be a good one to do. I'll probably do it kind of like 6.5 PRC. I'll wait a couple years until it's not really relevant anymore and not that many people are shooting it, and then I'll get into it. What powders does my store have on the shelf? I don't really even have a store, to be honest with you. I don't have anything close, and these days I just order just about everything online. Or I wait until I take a big trip to the big city. And shop there. Finally built a Range Queen Grendel. Haven't even sent one down the barrel yet. That's like my first Grendel was that's exactly what it was a Range Queen. Don't even know where you can get a Type 1 bolt.
Thorzax super chatted $10. We should start a drive to get Johnny a standard AR-15 too. Because of his service in the defense of our nation.
I appreciate that, Thorzax, but no. Like it's good. Like one of these days I'll build my A2 clone, but not right now. I appreciate you though. The closest I've recently come was, well, remember when Brownells was doing all that? They were releasing all that retro stuff, and I was looking at that point. I mean, it's just it's all pretty new. It's just carry handle and the A2 buttstock. So it's not too it's not so weird that it's hard to build or expensive to build. I just need to do one. And then I probably wouldn't even shoot the damn thing. The Legend is fun to fool with. You should try it. That's what I'm hearing. That's the way it seems. Seems like it's going to be here to stay. It's here to stay as long as, you know, states still have this straight wall deer hunting cartridge requirement. All right, it's after 10. We've been going over 2 hours, so probably best not to overdo it on my first one back here after a couple weeks off. Sorry about that. Hopefully, you know, we'll get back into the flow of having one of these every Monday. But I think for tonight, that's about it. Appreciate all you guys joining me. Thanks for all the super chats and stuff. Appreciate you guys very much. I managed to forgot what I was going to say. Burr says, if I decide to build an etude, be happy to send some stuff for a clone. Have a bunch of surplus furniture. Favorites are the worn look with rack numbers and stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. I don't need that project right now. Like I'm fighting my internal desire to build another rifle, and I got too much else going on, I guess. So. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you very much. And I'll